Letter 606 by Charles Lamb. Summer 1834. Sir, I hope you will finish Emily. The story I cannot at this stage anticipate. Some looseness of diction I have taken liberty to advert to. It wants a little more severity of style. There are too many prettinesses, but parts of the poem are better than pretty, and I thank you for the perusal. Your humble served. Perhaps you will favour me with a call while you stay. Line 42. The old abbé, if abbey was so spelt, I do not object to because it does not seem your own language, but humorsomely adapted to the how folks called it in those times. Flares, think of the vulgarism, flare up, let it be Burns. In her pale countenance is blent the majesty of high intent with meekness by devotion lent, and when she bends in prayer before the Virgin's awful shrine, the rapt enthusiast might deem the seraph of his brightest dream were meekly kneeling there. Was decidedly, not were. The deeming or supposition is of a reality, not a contingency. The enthusiast does not deem that a thing may be, but that it is. When first young Vernon's flight she knew, the lady deemed the tale untrue. Deemed, this word is just repeated above, say thought or held. Deem is half cousin to ween and wot. By pure intent and soul sincere, sustained and nerved, I will not fear reproach, shame, scorn, the taunting jeer, and worse than all, a father's sneer. A father's sneer. Would a high-born man in those days sneer at a daughter's disgrace? Would he only sneer? Reproach and biting shame, and worse than all, the estranged father's curse. I only throw this hint out in a hurry. Stern and sear, I see a meaning in it, but no word is good that startles one at first, and then you have to make it out. Drear. Perhaps, then why to minstrel's glance, to fancy's eye you would say, not to fiddler's eye. A knight thinks he don't trow. Mayhap is vulgarish, perchance. Sensation is a philosophically prose word, feeling. The hill where ne'er rang woodman's stroke was clothed with elm and spreading oak, through whose black boughs the moon's mild ray as hardly strove to win away, as pity to a miser's heart. Natural illustrations come more naturally, when by them we expound mental operations, than when we deduce from natural objects similes of the mind's workings. The miser's struggle thus compared is a beautiful image, but the storm and clouds do not inversely so readily suggest the miser. Havoc and wrath, his maniac bride, wheel o'er the conflict and see. These personified gentry I think are not in taste. Besides, fear has been pallid any time these 2,000 years. It is mixing the style of Aeschylus and the last minstrel. Bracy is a good rough vocative. No better suggests itself, unless Grim, Baron Grim or Grimald, which is Saxon or Grimbold. Tracy would obviate your objection that the name Bracy occurs in Ivanhoe, but Bracy is stronger. The frown of night conceals him, and bewrays their sight. Betrays, the other has an unlucky association. The glinting moon's half-shrouded ray. Why glinting, Scotch, when glancing is English? Then solemnly the monk did say, the abbot of St. Mary's Grey, the leman of a wanton youth perhaps may gain her father's ruth, but never on his injured breast may lie, caressing and caressed. Bethink you of the vow you made when your light daughter, all distraught, from yonder slaughter-plain was brought, that if in some secluded cell she might till death securely dwell, the house of God should share her wealth. Holy abbots surely never so undisguisedly blurted out their secular aims. I think there is so much of this kind of poetry that it would not be very taking, but it is well worthy of pleasing a private circle. One blemish runs through, the perpetual accompaniment of natural images. Seasons of the year, times of day, phases of the moon, phenomena of flowers, are quite as much your dramatis personae as the warriors and the ladies. This last part is as good as what precedes.